All right, let's talk about something that gives a lot of people a headache, the cloud bill. We're going to decode it. And listen, if you're not a finance person, but you work in tech, this is basically your new superpower. So let's jump right in.
Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty, we have to get the important legal stuff out of the way. Just so you know, this is Module 7 of a 20-part tutorial called FinOps 101, a complete guide to cloud cost management for non-financial professionals. All this great info is based on a comprehensive report from Virtualization Options LLC. But remember, it's for general guidance. It's not, and I repeat, not legal or financial advice. So definitely chat with your own financial and legal pros before you make any big moves, okay? Great.
I mean, have you ever felt like that? You open up the cloud bill and it's like it's written in another language. You're definitely not alone. It can feel like trying to solve a super complicated puzzle, right? Line after line of just stuff. It's totally overwhelming, and trust me, pretty much everyone feels that way. But here's the thing, and this is the good news I promised. You don't need a PhD in accounting to figure this out. No way. The secret is that most of that crazy long bill, I'm talking like 80–90% of it, really just comes down to 5 key words or charges. If you can get your head around these 5, you've basically cracked the code. I mean, look at this. All these complex systems, they're what make our digital lives possible, right? Your apps, your websites, the whole shebang. But the flip side is that all this complexity creates equally complex bills. So it's time to pull back the curtain. Let's start decoding. All right, here we go. Think of this next part as your field guide to the cloud bill. We're going to hunt down the 5 biggest charges you'll see on there. Okay, first up, the undisputed heavyweight champion of cloud costs, compute instances. These are basically the virtual servers, the workhorses, the engines that run all your company's applications. And how you pay is pretty simple, really. It's based on how powerful the machine is and how many hours it's turned on. And just to show you how much of a big deal this is, look at this. Compute costs usually make up somewhere between 40 and 60% of the entire bill. Yeah, you heard that right. That's potentially half of your total cloud spend, all in one place. So the takeaway is huge. If you're looking to save money, this is always where you start. All right, number 2 on our list is storage services. This one's pretty straightforward. It's the cost of, well, storing all your digital stuff. All those files, databases, backups, everything. You basically rent space and you pay for it by the gigabyte month after month. But storage has this hidden trap, and we call it digital hoarding. Think about it. It is so easy to just save something and then completely forget it exists. Teams do it all the time. They make backups of backups, save old project files just in case, and all that data just sits there for years, silently racking up charges every single month for something that has zero value. Okay, our third major charge is one that catches a lot of people by surprise: data transfer. Yep, you actually get charged for moving your data from one place to another. The best way to think about it is like shipping fees for your digital information. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. If you're moving data around inside the same cloud region, it's usually super cheap, sometimes even free. But the moment you send data out from the cloud to the public internet, whoa, the price skyrockets. This is a classic gotcha, where a single app can accidentally run up a massive bill just by sending too much data out, and you won't even know it until that invoice hits your desk. Coming in at number 4, we have managed databases. You'll see these everywhere. They are super convenient because the cloud provider does all the hard work for you. The updates, the security, all that messy stuff. But you're paying for that convenience. It's not just the server and storage. You're paying a premium for the service, for the automated backups, for the high availability, all the extras. So this really boils down to a fundamental trade-off, right? Convenience versus cost. Sure, using a managed database saves your engineers a boatload of time and headaches, but, and it's a big but, it's almost always going to be more expensive than just running the database yourself on a standard compute instance. You're paying extra for that ease of use. And our 5th and final major charge, load balancers. Think of these as the traffic cops for your website or application. Their whole job is to take all the incoming traffic and spread it out evenly across your servers so nothing gets overloaded. The pricing is usually a 2-parter, a small hourly fee just for having it on, plus a charge for how much data it handles. And this leads us perfectly into another classic problem, the idle resource trap. This is literally paying for something that's doing absolutely nothing. It happens all the time. A team spends up a load balancer for a temporary project. The project ends, and everyone forgets to turn the load balancer off. So it just sits there, day after day, month after month, quietly adding to the bill.
Okay, so there you have it. We've cracked the code on the 5 biggest charges. But knowing is only half the battle, right? So let's talk about what you can actually do with this information. What's your first step?
Honestly, it's simpler than you think. Just knowing where to look is a massive win. This is your foundation for making smarter decisions. You can't fix a problem if you don't know where it is. And now you know the 5 most likely suspects on your bill. So here is your action plan. It's 3 simple steps. First, grab your latest cloud bill and actually find these 5 things: compute, storage, data transfer, managed databases, and load balancers. Second, for each one, just ask 2 simple questions. Do we still need this? And is this bigger than it needs to be? And third, you optimize. Just starting that conversation can uncover huge savings. It's the most powerful thing you can do.
And that really is the key takeaway. You now have the map. You know exactly where to look. So the question I'll leave you with is this: which of these 5 usual suspects is hiding the most waste in your budget? Think about it. That's not just a line item on a bill. That's your treasure map. Now go find the gold.